Isn't like Ohio friggin' yeah.
Yeah. So what is up, everybody?
It's showtime.
Welcome to the HVAC. Oh wait, what is it called?
Oh, you almost had it. Dude.
What is up, everybody?
You ever feel like you have like your hood is like weird?
Yeah.
You can't get into a good position. I'll just go like this.
Actually, that usually means that your neck's getting too fat.
That could be it too.
That's typically what I feel. And I've been getting that a lot lately. I'm like, why is my shirt getting so tight? Damn, I'm getting ripped. Dude, I haven't worked out in like 7 years. I'm not getting ripped. I'm getting big.
They're just making shirts a little smaller these days.
They are.
Style. It's a style.
But let's just say this. When you were 17, you didn't care what brand shirt you bought. You just bought the same size all the time. Now that I'm older, I'm like, well, no, I like this brand because their large shirt fits me better. That just means that they make theirs bigger. Yeah. I'm brand specific now.
It's true. I mean, and here's the thing. I felt better too when I was shopping because I buy Duluth pants.
Yeah.
Duluth pants run freaking huge for their actual size compared to other pants.
Yeah.
Like you buy a 36 Duluth and then you buy like a 36 like Levi's or something like that.
Yeah.
The 36 is not a 36 in Duluth. So
it's the same way. I do the 511 tactical and I wear 30 is it 38s? I think I have 38s and 511 tactical, but I don't have a 38 waist. I'm like a 35 or a 36. Like, but you know,
you're buying fat brands.
Maybe. Okay.
Dude, you wear Duluth in the summertime?
I wear Duluth every day, bro.
I can't do that in the summer.
I wear a 511 tactical. Well, those are lighter in the legs. They're not thick like Duluth, but I do wear long sleeve Dickies shirts all year long. Even in the 115, I wear long sleeve Dickies.
You're one of those guys that show up with shorts on and tall boots, right, Joe?
Well, my boots are nice, so I could get away with it. But I would wear shorts if I really had to. I'm outside all the time. Hey, man, can I be comfortable? I'm wearing shorts.
And I don't know if anyone noticed, but Joe shaved his Magnum PI mustache this week, and now he's going for the Amish look.
Yep.
Isn't that amazing? I could just
I think I'm more vanilla ice.
I don't know
I'm vanilla ice, dude. If he didn't have the Canadian red right there, and his hat was a little bit higher on his head, I'd say vanilla ice.
Is your mic working, Joe? I don't think it is. Maybe.
Oh, let me check it out.
You could just go.
Oh, I could do that.
No, your mic is not working
as usual. Thank God we showed up early and made your sound check, right?
Exactly.
There you go.
Hey guys. Oh, it's working.
Hi guys.
Bill is missing again this week. Well, he might show up, I guess, right?
He put a message in the group saying something.
Let's say this. You remember for the longest time that Bill started making it to every show. He was early, everything, right? And then he changed jobs and he started doing more refrigeration. And now Bill's missing all the shows.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Well, Bill is also going like 2 and 3 hours to service calls, which I think is ridiculous if you ask me. But
same here. I was thinking about something, and then we can actually talk about that. Maybe Bill will chime in or call in. But
we're actually on the show right now, so if we're talking about it.
Then let's talk about it.
Yeah, and he said he's almost in Michigan. Dude, my voice is still not 100%. It's so creepy. But anyways,
I feel that like with the travel time, like what's the most that I'll travel is about 2 hours is the most that I'll travel. And that's for a really, really good customer. I don't take new customers in that area. I do it as a favor kind of a thing. But the thing about traveling 2 hours is that what about drive time home? Yeah. You know, our employees get paid to drive to the call, but if it's their last call, they don't get paid to drive home.
You kind of should pay them if you're scheduling calls that far away. I mean,
we usually make sure that we take care of the guys. Like it's not the same every single time, but we make it fair because I always remember like, dude, and then, you know, especially too, we've done it before. Like if guys get stuck in like a horrendous traffic jam, well, like, dude, throw another hour on your timesheet, like 2 hours on your timesheet, like just, you know, just to try to be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do it all the time, but
yeah, I try not to travel too far anymore, but like going to Chicago at times when you get stuck in traffic, it could be a 2 hour drive home.
Yeah. You know? Yep. Today I was like going to do a service call because I've got a bunch of people out right now from work. One guy's sick, one guy's having a baby. That's just kind of crazy. But I lost my train of thought. Don't know where I was going with that.
Did you guys see that post I made in the group today about that water heater?
Yeah,
No.
the runaway gas valve.
Dude, I was a little stumped on that call, to be honest with you.
What happened?
So like it was weird. It actually took a couple trips to figure out what the heck was going on, right? So it's a direct vent water heater. We installed it. It's a 2-inch flue. The maximum flue length is a 40,000 BTU is 50 feet with 190 included.
With what size? 2
And they say take off 5 feet for every 90 you use, right? It's 2-inch PVC.
Gotcha.
Total equivalent length that we used was 20 some feet, 24, 26 feet, something like that, right? So we installed it, and I'm very picky about, like, Ted's made comments, right, about like the piping. He's like, these freaking guys from Chicago and the Midwest and that they're anal about their pipes, right? Well, whatever, you gotta lay the pipe,
Yeah, no, I agree.
So
details, guys, details.
But anyway, so like imagine this. There's like a 10-foot PVC run, and the total horizontal length is probably like 12 feet. I had a coupling, and then another 2 feet of pipe, and then it went down into the water heater, right? So he called in and he said that the pipe popped off of the water heater.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, wow, how the hell did it pop off the water heater? Never heard of that in my life, So I go out there and I look at it, and at the coupling, the PVC pipe is like this. It didn't look horrible, but it was like, did I glue that bad? Like, how does it right? Yeah. And that was almost like not long enough to stick into the boot.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, so I cut it out, I fixed it, I put it back in, and this time I'm like, I had substantial amount to stick into the boot, right? I'm like, all right, we're good. He calls back and he says the thing popped out again. What the hell is going on? So this time I take the whole thing apart and I look at it, and the pipe is like melted, and the inducer motor is melted. I call the water heater manufacturer. I'm like, what the heck, guys? They're like, check the orifice. Maybe we installed the wrong orifice from the factory.
What were we talking about? Like, we're orifice and the baffles inside, right?
Yeah, inside. So that was one thing. They wanted to check the gas pressure. Gas pressure, it says on the tag it should be 3.5. They said, we want you to set it in incoming gas pressure was 7 inches, and it was 3.5 going out. And then so I took that apart. I checked the orifice, and then after that, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I don't get it. I checked the temperature of the water, and the thermostat setting on the water heater is all the way down on low. Check the temperature at the faucet, 160 degrees.
Wow.
That's nuts.
So at least you're able to adjust that gas. A lot of them you can. Like, they make it that you can't adjust freaking gas valve.
Well, I don't know. I've never adjusted a gas pressure on a water heater. I don't know how to adjust it. I just saw the screw there to tap in to test it. I don't know how to. It's one of these blinky, flashy light Honeywell valves.
Yeah.
I just thought about this. At what temperature does PEX start to have problems? Like high temperatures. Has anybody ever said that? Can you imagine a system like that?
With PEX, I want to say is a little. Isn't it like somewhere? It's somewhere in the like 160, 180 range, depending on the brand, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm thinking, O2 barrier, PEX A.
So like PEX is everything here. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I know you're right.
Then the couplings start popping or something.
I was at the point I was above I can't remember the temperature for Schedule 40 PVC, but obviously I was past that because we're like warping shit and
Yeah, that is pretty scary. So anyway, what was the issue? What did they say after?
It's the gas valve, the thermostat's not shutting off. So I get a gas valve, throw it on there. What are you gonna do?
That's pretty scary.
I mean, it really is.
The gas valve was sticking, or the thermostat was sticking?
I couldn't tell you. Every time I was like cycling it, it was shutting off. So like maybe the thermostat, there's something wrong with the thermostat where it's thinking it's colder than what it actually is.
Yeah.
I don't, I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't think though, because you could really crank up water heaters fairly hot and install a mixing valve on it.
Yeah.
To get a lot more capacity out of your water heater.
Big time capacity. Yeah.
So when you do that, you don't melt PVC.
No.
You can crank up a water heater fairly. So that's why I'm thinking like the quite possibly the gas valve was running without the inducer on or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's an equation, I just can't remember offhand, I have it written down, and it's amazing how just a mixing valve, could increase your volume and your capacity so much, almost half, like 40% some occasions.
So
One-way
I
garage, yeah.
just
Yep.
thought about something. So they're saying PEX is rated at it's only rated at 180 degrees before
Yeah.
it starts to become a problem. So
Yeah.
what about like where I'm at and they run PEX through an attic or something like that?
Oh, nowhere near 180.
It's 115 in the attic. What's your water temperature at?
Below that. Should
Oh,
be.
okay.
Yeah.
What do you typically run water temperature for a house? I have no idea.
120 or 125 is what they
Oh,
want
okay.
with the faucets.
But I mean, I'm curious how hot those lines would start to get in a really, really hot attic.
You know, in New Orleans, my brother worked on a house like for just a friend of his, and they install the water heaters in attics. This was just ridiculous. If you
I've
had
seen that in restaurants every once in a while.
but it gets so freaking hot down there that he had one that he's like he couldn't figure out what was going on. The relief valve was tripping. He's like, "Why is the relief valve tripping?" Like, how hot is it in the attic? He's like, "Oh, it's fucking brutal. It's awful up here." I'm like, "Well, you know."
Cyber was asking what brand of heater was it again?
American Standard, but it has that Honeywell Residio or whatever valve on it.
Valve.
Those little flashy. The funny thing is, those old gas valves, I think White Rogers made them or whatever, the original gas valves from water heaters, those things never freaking went bad.
I know.
Never went bad.
I know.
And then they switched over to all these stupid digital things and they freaking go bad all the time.
They can't do nothing with it. Just a little couple buttons and that's it.
I mean, you got to admit that when, I know computers and all that crap, but think about just in our trade, how digitals come in and how popular everything's gone digital, right? Thermostats, controls, tools, all this stuff. But for the old school techs that learned with the old stuff, we know how to tell when something's off. But for the young people coming in with all the digital and stuff, that does tend to be a problem. And like you said, digital gets kind of funky sometimes because of weird reasons too. So
yeah. I mean, here's an example of that. So I was working with, there's like a few guys, this other local company that I'm friends with the owner. There's a few guys that he is working for him that we kind of like, well, actually, one of my guys too, we bounce back and forth help. Like if he's slow, I'll take his guys, you just kind of share guys. Right.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was with the new guy that just came out of school yesterday, and we were, I had my S-mans and we were checking the charge on a system. And with what do they call it? The rail technology in the field piece wireless clamp.
Yeah, rapid rail. It has to be conductive.
So the funny thing is, like, sometimes you lose signal where it shows nothing. Sometimes it's dead nuts on and you could just tell because of the numbers. And then other times if it's like, it will just pop up and it'll be like 256 degrees of superheat. You're like, okay, well, that's right. And he was kind of questioning me on that. Like, oh, is that what's going on? Like, no, that's not right. You got to adjust it, sand the freaking pipe, something.
Yeah.
Like that's not.
I've seen that. I actually saw that today. I was working on something and I put the rapid rail clamp on something and it wasn't clean, but it was conductive because it wasn't, going to OL, but it was reading wonky, and it's like, oh, I got to sand that pipe. And actually, if you didn't know, on the rapid rail, they actually make those, you will not hurt the clamps and they approve you to use that to scratch the pipe.
Oh, I do that. I tried.
Yeah, I put my hands on the opposite direction of the clamps and then go up and down. They're meant for that. So
I don't. Sometimes it doesn't work though. Sometimes you got to pull out a piece of.
You're right. Yeah, sometimes you do on the really bad stuff. But the thing is that I still love digital because I kind of like you, Adam. You're a data whore. Like you like to see numbers. You like to on your systems and everything. I love to see numbers, and that's how my brain learns to troubleshoot things. I just have paid attention to the numbers so much that eventually I start to notice trends. And then after I started to notice trends, that's when I started learning, what superheat, what subcooling was, and all these
changes.
Yeah. And then you just kind of visualize things. So I kind of go my learning a backwards way.
I'm the exact same way. And it's funny. I saw somebody post, I don't remember if it was in our group or another group. Somebody took a shot of their S-mans the other day. And I can't remember what the superheat or subcooling was, but like I want to say the subcooling was a little bit low, but the saturation temperature on the suction side was like through the freaking roof.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of guys like, oh, it must be cold in the house. I'm like, what do you mean cold?
Cold?
Like, are you
running your saturation be through the roof if it was cold?
Like there was like multiple people saying that. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It sounds like it's 90 degrees in the house and it's low.
Exactly. Yeah.
Superheat tells you a lot of things. And
But the point that I was making with, I love the new digital stuff, but you just have to be more aware. There's new things that, the digital does one thing for you. It saves you from having to go here, do the math. It's like, it's right there, instantaneous. But also I think with digital, when it's, the like the S-man gauges, when those came out and the previous digital ones, we really we were so used to seeing numbers that were like, what's the superheat? Well, the superheat is 7, and it's like, well, what is it now? Well, I don't know. Like now we know instance. I wonder if, we're actually worrying too much about these perfect numbers, because it seems like, in the past, and I know that
we also didn't have very accurate ways of taking measurements before, you know what I mean? Like, all right, as an example, you would have like that little K-type temperature sensor that you just, you go to houses in that or systems and you use electrical tape and wrap it around. And I go to some of them that I was at, like, over the years, and you see like 7 different loops of electrical tape from all the different times you looked at the system or worked on it or whatever else,
It's funny though, because I kind of miss those days, like the beginning days when I was getting into HVAC, and the way that there were so many things that I didn't know and I was so interested in knowing, and now I do know those things. And it's like, man, could you imagine where you'd be if you took your mentality and your knowledge now and put it in your 19-year-old self? Like, holy
it's crap. Funny because the younger guys, like, I feel like the guys I know that are younger, I just don't see much interest in them, like where they show much interest in learning. You know what I mean?
Okay, but and that is a fair point for some people, but at the same time, like, and as an employer, yeah, I get frustrated with the younger generation, but as a person, I mean, who's right or wrong? Us that are super stressed about our lives and always focused on everything, or the new generation that's kind of, I mean, I envy that.
But the thing is, like, if you want to make more money, if you want to be able to buy a house, if you want to succeed and pay for your kids to go through for college or whatever, you have to become better at your job. Your skill set has to improve on a daily basis. You have to.
And that is the one thing, like, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And that's one frustration that I do have with some of the younger generation, that, well, but I should be able to get that for free, like that concept. And so that does,
there's like a thing where it's like, if I show up, I deserve this. And it's like, no, you don't. No, I'm sorry, you don't. Like,
who was I talking to? I think it was Hamilton. He messaged me and we're talking a few words back and forth. And I think just everybody's kind of frustrated too, because you got to admit, guys, all the baby boomers are kind of retiring. So everybody's in the press for employees.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not helping either. And we just, I don't know, just got to take it easy, I guess. And hopefully
us guys that are like getting to the middle age point, we got to learn as much as we can from these old timers before they
Jill and I were talking last night, and we were talking about doing something coming up. I think she said, hey, for your we were watching a YouTube video about people traveling to this crazy place in Mexico. It was like an all-inclusive resort. And I asked her, I was like, well, do you want to do that for like we have a big anniversary, 20 years coming up. And I'm like, do you want to do something like that? Like, you take the kids and everything and go to, and anyways, she goes, well, maybe we can do it for your 40th. And I'm like, 40th. Okay. I mean, that's like what, 4 years? She's like, that's a year and a half away. I'm like, fuck.
Wow.
I'm turning 39 in June. So it's actually a year away.
Daddy Warbucks over here is gonna have a serious midlife crisis, and he's gonna,
dude, it's brewing.
He's gonna show up in like one of these, the 120 grand freaking Corvettes. I finally did it. I pulled the trigger.
Man,
508. Go ahead.
Real quick, I want to keep this going, but we do need to acknowledge some people. There's a bunch of great viewers in here, guys. We're seriously stuck in a great conversation, so we're not paying as much attention to the chat, but lots of great friends in here. Clive's in here. Saw Randy in here. Alaska,
and Luke. Randy and Luke. Sorry, Randy.
Yep, everybody's in here. Dave G.
Troy, Mike B, Jason, Alaska, Jonathan, and 508 HVAC.
Jason,
unfortunately, most people are my age, younger generation, in quotes, just look at it as a job. It's just want to make paycheck, not a career. They just want to make the paycheck, I guess, week by week, and not worry about the future.
Again, as a kid, when I was 17, I didn't care. I worked at the burger place. Like I didn't, I had no ambitions working there. It was just, I just was looking forward to payday. That's all I did. But there came a point when I wanted to move out of my parents' house, and it was like, hey, I got to figure something out, and then Jill and I moved out together and we grew up together basically. But
I bought my first house at 20 years old.
Dude, 20. My wife was 21. I was 22. And let me ask you this. Did you get one of those, fake loans?
No.
I did. I got one of those fake loans. I refinanced 6 months before the crash.
Wow.
So no, I had an adjustable rate. I would have lost my house.
I got in, like, I bought my house. My house was like a freaking slum, dude. Like, you couldn't live there. I gutted the whole house. I did 100% of everything by myself in that house. I flipped it. I bought the house for 45 grand. I sold it for 120. And I thought I was on top of the world.
Yeah.
In like 2006 ish, I bought a house that was like 3-4 times the size of that house, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this again, and I'm gonna freaking have like a couple hundred grand just sitting in my bank. And then the market crashed, and it took me until 2 years ago to sell the house, and I lost like 125,000 on the house.
So when I sold, the market crashed 6 months after we refinanced or whatever, and so we went through the whole crash and all that stuff. We were doing fine, but we really, really wanted to move because the area we had moved to was getting really downhill. And anyways, we long story short, we tried to sell it, but we didn't have any money in our house, so we rented it out for like 8 years. We rented it out for 8 years, losing $400 a month. Like, so basically I was losing $400 a month because I wasn't getting enough in rent. Like, I couldn't wait to sell that house. When the market turned and there was equity, I contacted a real estate agent and I said, sell it. And he goes, 6 months. And I said, fuck that. I don't care.
Right.
Sell it now. Like, I am done, dude.
Funny thing is, like, if I would have waited now, I'm looking at, because I still get updates from Zillow, like, your house is worth this, right? Yeah. So it isn't, since the time I sold it till now, it's like the estimated value is $100,000 more than what I sold it for.
Yeah.
3 months ago.
Yeah, but same thing, dude. If I would have, shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? If I would have kept the Facebook stock when they released their IPO, if I would have kept the Apple stock that I bought, right. If I would have kept the 2 Bitcoin I bought, forever years ago when it was nothing,
we're idiots.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, not speaking of idiots, but bring up Hamilton, right? But not an idiot. Anyway, I was gonna help him out. He was sending me some stuff on his house. He's having a hard time cooling his house.
Really?
Yeah, some of the things he shows is crazy. It's crazy. Somebody was asking, guys, and Laska made a good point too, about equalizer or not equalizing TXV, which is better.
Well, they both serve a different purpose. So for an externally equalized TXV is meant for systems that have multiple circuits on the evaporator coil. So, and it's used to help the expansion valve operate properly in higher pressure drop systems. So then you have non-balanced port TXV. So it's not a matter of which one's better, which one's worse. They each serve a purpose, and they're not really interchangeable.
I don't know what application he's talking about, but I don't think I've ever seen one that is not externally equalized on residential.
Oh, see, in refrigeration, we see it quite often when you have small evaporator coils.
I think maybe that's what he's asking. Good points, Chris. I think that's what he was asking. I was thinking you're right. Like, I would think the equalizer would be more precise because you're getting all the pressure losses from the, I guess, distribution or whatever evaporator and stuff like that. You're getting actually the true reading, you can say, from the evaporator. But yeah, good point.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite the way you think it as far as the pressure losses, but it helps the expand. I'm not the best person at explaining it, but it helps the expansion.
Who's a genius down here?
Which one? Well, like, who do we want? We want to call Trevor. We want to call Brett. We want to call Kevin. We want to Ty. You want to?
No, that was a good answer, Chris. I like that. I'll call you, Chris. Everyone in this chat, they're all geniuses. All right.
But like, think about it though. Like, how awesome is this? That between the 4 of us, when Bill's here, we seriously have some amazing industry contacts.
Right.
Even within the 4 of us right here, if we ever have a problem, we're like,
we just talk to each other.
Here and also we're like, hey, here's freaking Jim's number. Here's that is one really cool
comment on because you always see. Yeah, I think Ty said when he was on the show that whenever somebody asks a question, he like posts links and resources for them.
Yeah, I see him do
He
that.
always like helps answer the question. He gets really technical. So
I've been doing that more. Real quick, I'm sorry. When I've been answering questions too, is I'm not going to give you the answer. I'm going to lead you. So here's this and here's this, and we're going to come to the conclusion. Like giving people the tools so much, and and instead of doing it for them,
so they could actually learn. And there's it's like not a dry answer, but Ty answered somebody and he showed a bunch of different links and he sent a video or whatever, and I'm like, whatever it was, I'm like, Ty, you are so full of good information. Like every time someone has a question, Ty's just like right there, bam, with the answer.
Good man. Yeah. Did you see that Herman? I don't know if he's in chat. If I seen him, hi Herman, if you're there. And the other Herman. But did you see his post about there was a 65-year-old in his class?
Oh, I did.
9-year-old.
I did.
Oh, 69-year-old. Wow.
And he said it was the first student to ever ace the exam.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe that. And that's the irony of it is, as you're getting older and older, you have experience, you have knowledge, you have drive, you can do stuff, and it's like, but yet your physical body is getting worse. It's like your brain's at its potential. Can you imagine flip-flopping that, like that?
Right.
Good gosh.
That's awesome. Like it's so satisfying just learning. It just proves it right there. Seeing it right in his eyes. Yeah. 69 years old and wanted to go learn.
What were we talking about earlier in the week, Joe? And you said save it for Friday.
Oh, you wear 5-inch now on the weekends.
What?
You wear 5-inch heels now on the weekends.
What?
You wear 5-inch heels on the weekends?
I don't remember this part.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I don't.
Oh, that was supposed to be a joke.
It was, guys. It was
something on Tuesday, and you're like, save it for. Somebody said save it for. Maybe it was Bill, and Joe's like, you're not gonna remember this on Friday. I don't remember it on Friday.
I think it was about an install you did. Maybe
install.
You did do one that you did a true manual J. You were saying a true manual.
Oh, that's not the that's not what we were talking about. But yeah. Oh. So I am going back. I just ordered the RetroTech fogger, the fogger, the serious thing, right?
And I want to buy your
We did on this house, full on. I'm trying to do this thing 100% by the book. Manual J, manual S, D, T, everything. Bada bing. We're bringing in ventilation, makeup air for this house. Awesome. It's all spray foamed, so I'm going to go back with the blower door now that the spray foam's done, and the fogger. We're going to try to QC the foam and maybe try to fix some things, get a little tighter if possible.
Sweet. Speaking of fogger, I seen Will just popped in here too. What's up, Will? He was playing with cone. What do you call him? A coffee maker, like some guys were saying. Air balance cone.
Flow hood. Bam.
I've never thought of it as a coffee cone. What?
Yeah, somebody in chat made me laugh. They're like, "Oh, it looks like a big giant." I think Gary, he's a big contributor in HVAC Overtime group.
Oh,
and he's like, "Oh, it looks like a big coffee mug in the morning."
So, I don't know if I talked about it on the show yet. I got the new what is it? The Navac battery powered swaging tool.
Oh, nice.
I was because I really wanted it. I wish it would do 1/4 inch, but it won't.
It's supposed to not split the copper.
No, it splits copper.
Well, so, can you tell them they're fucking lying?
I mean, it splits the copper legit. So you put it in 3/8 copper, you ream it. What you actually have to do is you put it in, you push a button, which again, it's not a momentary. It's weird. Anyways, you push a button and you let it go, and it does its process. So you don't have to hold the button, but then you have to push the button again to stop it halfway, release it. You have to push a button to release it.
Good.
Then you turn it 80 degrees. And then put it back in and push the button again, and it flares it, and it still is like ripply.
You need to call Greaves and tell him, be like, "What the fuck?"
But I mean, this was I was telling my apprentice. I was like, dude, it's still really cool, but it's just like this. This can only be the beginning of battery powered swaging. Like this is literally.
I didn't tell Greaves at the symposium his other sidekick that's like half the size of Greaves.
Yeah, I know you're talking about
them. Anyways, I'm like, he was like showing me. I'm like, it's pretty cool, but you guys should have taken what Upanor did and ran with that. And he's like, what do you mean? And the Upanor PEX expander tool, it like it opens a little bit and then releases and then twists, opens, releases, twists, and it does it all automatically. You just hold the trigger down.
But the Milwaukee doesn't do that.
No,
you're right. It doesn't.
No, the Milwaukee does do that. The
mine
does not do that.
The NAVAC one doesn't. The NAVAC, you have to stop it. Now, I will say it's still better than the spin swage, because I've been using spin swage forever, and I hate spin swage because our drills don't go fast enough for spin swage.
The 3/8 socket for the spin is far superior than any swedger, in my opinion.
But the thing about the spin is that your swage joints go sideways.
Yeah, true.
They go sideways, and your copper looks like a limp, it's dumb. So the NAVAC is still awesome. Don't get me wrong. Like, and I've used it a couple times, and I'm sure I'll show it in some videos soon too. But it's still, though, the copper's rippled, like where it makes the swage. It's not a perfect circle. Like the spin, in my opinion, makes a better looking round swage because it's annealing the copper basically. But the NAVAC does look funky, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. It's still better than anything else out there. So, and I don't have to get carpal tunnel freaking pumping the hydraulic ones.
You're getting complaints because we don't have Bill here.
Yeah, we didn't even address that. So Bill is actually on one of his road trips, traveling 4 hours from work or something. I don't know.
I told him, what did I say in the message when he's like, he sent a screenshot and he said, I'm 3 hours away or whatever. And he sent it at like five something.
Although, guys, look in the chat. He said he's on his way in, and that was, I don't know how long ago. So check the back room. He might be there.
I told him, I said, excuse me, this is your second write-up in 7 days. You're out.
I told him to bring his metering device to the meeting. We're going to have a meeting and sit down.
So, Adam, you want to talk about that other thing with your friend that happened?
What's that?
Where your friend got lucky?
Oh, the spray foam?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was interested in that.
Actually, that house that we were just talking about, that I was just talking about with that we're going to do the fog test with the blower and everything. He went over there, and he doesn't know too much about like building construction and like what's this, what's that, or whatever. And he calls me up. He sent the estimate over to what he was supposed to get with spray foam, and they were supposed to use closed cell foam on the basement walls all the way up to the rim joist. Well, hello, Bill.
Hello.
Keep telling your story.
Yeah, so they're supposed to use closed cell foam in the basement. Then all the walls were open cell, and then underneath the back porch was closed cell, and the attic was open cell.
There we go. Now I can hear you guys.
They ended up doing like the whole house in closed cell.
What the?
So, like, what kind of a price difference do you think that would be?
Huge. It's got to be a huge price difference. It's a big house. I mean, there's a lot of.
And so they didn't try to go back to him. They didn't try to back charge.
It just happened. So I don't think he even got billed for it yet.
Oh, snap. Damn.
Which house is this one?
That was that one I was telling you about. I'm going to do the quality control on the foam.
Gotcha.
So he got all this foam, and I'm going to complain about it. I'm going to go in the blower door and be like, "You guys missed all this shit. What the fuck? Get back here. Fix this closed cell foam."
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy. I thought. So what's up, Mr. Bill? How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm just playing with my audio. Is my audio too loud?
A little bit. It kind of blew me
you can
away
just
from
pull
it.
your mic like a half-inch away from your face, and it'll probably be fine.
I like it right in my face.
You like to eat the mic, huh?
I like it right in my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, we were getting a bunch of complaints. Maybe I should play the intro music now.
Oh shit! Hell yeah! I should play the intro music. We should go back
Bill,
to the original.
Bill, you probably should do the introductions because we never did the introductions.
You didn't do the introductions?
No, not even.
We tried.
You guys got sidetracked by talking about airflow, didn't you?
We did.
Oh wait. Speaking of that, listen, Bill, when he's driving home. Bill and Chris have long rides home. So these guys just like send us voice messages that are like 2 minutes long each, and they hit us
podcast.
2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. You're looking at those times, right? Oh my God.
And the thing is, he keeps sending more before you can even listen to the earlier one. So you like can never catch up.
It's so frustrating.
I sent a message and I'm like, listen, I don't have the attention span to listen to all this crap. I'm sorry, I just don't. And Bill's like, I'm going to try to throw some keywords in to keep your attention span. So the next message is like, dude, space sucked. I was walking this walk-in cooler, Retrotech fog machine. And then
it worked though, didn't it? It worked.
I'll laugh my ass off.
I
Oh, man.
guarantee it worked.
You know what we should do, Bill? I wonder if see as if you don't have enough to do, Bill. So for the end of the year, you need to have some of our messages. You need to get
that
the
would be
audio from our
epic.
messages.
Yeah,
You need
that
to go
would be
back
epic.
through our thing and
We
start
got to
playing.
remember that though, because like in a month we'll forget, and then we'll be like, oh, we got to purge this fucking conversation because we say so many horrible things about
We do.
so many people.
We
So
still have
remind me,
that.
I already forgot what it was. I'm gonna write it down. What is it?
Supposedly
forgot.
my mic is too loud.
Just
It's
write down
okay.
today's
For
date
me
or
anyways.
something, so we can go back to like search this
5,
date, this
27,
history.
22.
I was just-
People in
So
the
what's up,
chat, send
guys?
us emails. People send us emails. Remind us to do a big end of the year thing where Bill
We're
takes
gonna
our
do a
private
whole
recordings.
giveaway. We'll exploit all of our chat, all of our horrible messages that we've said about everybody. Nobody in the chat, of course. We don't talk bad about you guys.
No.
Who we got in the chat tonight? Oh, I see Will Speed. He must be back from, where'd he go? Bogota, Italy, Egypt. I don't know where he went, but he went somewhere. Princess
Maybe.
Walt, Eric Nettleton. Never heard of you before.
No, good to see you, Eric.
Jesus Fish. He was probably one of the guys that was like in Bill Spone's group, and he's like, "Hey, what's this?" Oh, HVAC Overtime.
He has that kind of
Click on it.
personality, it seems.
I think
Yeah.
about that because I promoted this on my YouTube channel tonight. I like
Hell
put a
yeah.
post out, and then I started thinking, I go, without a warning, some people are going to come to that show and they're going to unsubscribe from my YouTube channel.
Oh, they.
Nah, there'll be better people for it.
There was actually a guy that came in earlier that was like, "Hey, Chris. Hey, other guys. Here's a super chat."
Hey,
Oxford,
sis, hey, other guys.
Oxford,
Wait, no, then I said thank you, and he
Thanks,
goes, "Yeah, you
Alaska.
make some great videos. I really appreciate
Ice
it." It's like,
machine.
fuck,
And
you
I
guys
was
got my
yeah.
super
Yeah. Keep sending money to Chris, guys. It goes right to him.
Yeah, just do it on this chat.
Any donations you guys send, Chris matches. He
Shut
said
up, you dumbass.
homeless children in Africa.
There you
Oh
go.
man,
Speaking of
Double
homeless
it.
children in Africa,
don't
now,
even. You're
what's
digging
going
me a
on?
hole, you asswipe.
What's going on with the intro? We have some Indian in Pakistan that's trying to make it for us, but we haven't given.
Wait, did I?
Wait,
some
wait,
Indian in
wait a
Pakistan?
minute, wait a minute. Holy shit, wait, did Joe just criticize? What, you're the worst at that shit, Joe.
What? The giving the videos or?
No,
Which one?
fucking the you just get so upset
Anything?
with our crazy ideas, dude. You're-
Oh no, I thought it was a great idea, and he used some of the overtime money. I think we gotta,
Yeah, we
put something
paid
together.
for it already. This guy flew the coop. I think he moved out of his random third world country to move to another country.
So we paid for it and didn't get it, but we
No.
gave money to some guy in India.
Yes.
Do
Or
we
you
send it to him in
like-
gift cards? Because
Is that why I keep getting telemarketing calls from the same damn phone number?
Did we only send him overtime money because he said he had a videotape of you jerking off?
I mean, here's the thing. I got on top of this thing because you guys were all complaining that the intro
That's
sucks.
what she said.
The intro sucks. It's too long. It's not proper quality. Because
Yeah, it needs to be updated too. I mean,
well, that's the thing. Like none of us are good at.
We don't have time to deal with that right now.
but then you were like, but I need you guys to make videos for this guy to like edit together. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Can't this guy just take a bunch of clips of all our old shit and like make it look cool? I'm sure he could. He's from Pakistan.
I mean, we're gonna have to pay him more to do that. We have like hundreds and thousands of hours of videos, right?
Yeah, I can't even make it to the show on time, and you want me to like go to the studio after work and like
You don't need to go to the studio. Just like
create
use
some
hey
stuff
guys,
and, like,
I'm working on this walk-in cooler, and
yeah, just like take one of my videos off my channel that I make a video for once a month.
Sequest is saying, "Are you guys kidding? No, we're actually not.
about what?
We're serious. Do we
Text.
ever kid?
The Indian guy from Pakistan.
No, it's
Yeah.
definitely that's where Indian guys live is in Pakistan.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
mix.
They're all named,
That's
they're all
not
named Kevin and
yeah.
Jason.
Clive doesn't have an intro.
What's up,
He just
Clive?
Boom.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. Clive doesn't have it, but I
But
feel like
he's-
Clive doesn't need an intro. He's
No,
kind of
he's like-
outgrown an intro.
Yeah. that's right.
So, hey, I have a crazy story. I don't know if it's appropriate to tell. Should I tell
Go
it?
for it.
All
Go
right,
for it.
I'll tell it. So the
But
next,
hey, when you're done with your story, we should go back to this idea and start floating around ideas for what kind of intro we should have. This
Well,
That
Pakistani movie.
and before I forget, wait,
right now.
before I forget, I can't say it on the show, but I hinted you guys are supposed to remind me to tell you about that really, really amazing idea that I had for my channel and the overtime channel.
You're
Oh.
saying it on the show right now.
But I'm not saying what the idea is.
He said that he was doing that earlier. He's like, I think we should talk about this later or something. And I'm like, dude, we're
No,
talking about
you
it.
guys need to
Stop.
remind me. after the show, I got to tell you my idea. I keep forgetting things, so I'm telling you.
Huh.
Remind me.
I'll tell it. Do you want to know Chris's idea? He wants to get it translated in Spanish.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you had that idea like a year and a half ago. We were talking about it.
Can we not talk about my ideas right now? It's a secret.
It's not that big of a secret. It's just called subtitles.
Don't tell anyone.
No, it's not subtitles. Screw it. I wanted to be the first, man.
You can have somebody just overdub it. You know, like actual Spanish.
Whatever. I'm putting it out there. So whatever. It is what it is. If someone
I'll help Yamo. We'll overdub it.
So no, what we're gonna do.
Hola, me llamo Chris. Estoy arreglando esta máquina aquí.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys want to do it, I'll pay you. But we got to go back all 260 of my videos, and we're going to start from video 1 and pay someone, and we're going to get like 20 videos in the pile that we paid someone to dub.
You know, it's going to cost you like $39 in American money to have somebody do that for the next 2 years.
And could we do that for our show? But we're going to have 4 different voices.
Yeah. Yes. That's going to be, dude, we're totally going to do this. And we're going to start separate channels in all our popular languages.
That is actually kind of a good idea now that we go to this point.
Yeah. Yes. So this is what I didn't want to talk about in the public yet, but I guess it's all out there now that this is the plan. I'm going to dedicate a crap ton of money towards that. And we're going to, you say resources, I say money. And we're going to get this done.
Man, you know Amazon stock is going to fall now that Chris ain't blowing all his money over there.
B&H
garbage cans.
B&H Photo just got my money, man. They just got an easy, like Rodecaster Pro came out with a version
from Sweetwater.
I get from B&H Photo.
B&H just screwed me over on something. Actually, this has been earlier, like a couple months ago. I ordered an Antari fog machine, a really high powered one, battery powered. Speaking of the RetroTech one, I actually ordered this and I waited, like they said 2 weeks. I waited like 3 months. Like we have it in stock. 3 months go by. I'm like, where the fuck is it? Where is it? They're like, well, we don't know why we didn't ship it yet. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? Go to the fucking back room and ask Johnny to freaking put the freaking stamp on it and send it to me. And I waited another couple weeks. I'm like, cancel it. Well, we could send it out right now. I'm like, no, cancel it. Forget it. Now I got the RetroTech one.
So, Hamilton, this is funny. Hamilton said Chris forced me to get a puppy because I have a dog, right? Luke, and a lot of people have known about Luke since I got him. My wife texted me today. She goes, your dog. And she was hysterical. She goes, your dog. I don't even know. He's in so much trouble. And I'm like, what?
Oh,
she sends me this picture. Let me pop this. Share screen.
Pop it like it's hot.
Pop it like it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
My entire bedroom. Dude shredded his freaking dog bed. It was all over the bedroom.
Look at him. He's pissed right now that he's outside. He wanted
how crazy he must have been to do that.
Yeah. And when we leave, my wife left. We open the doggy door and he hangs in our bedroom and then can go into the backyard. So he's usually super chill. The doggy door was open. There was even fluff outside the doggy door. Like,
but is that like the only thing he did though?
That's the only thing he's ever done like that.
Is that a beanbag?
No, it's his bed.
Oh,
that he sleeps on. He rips it open.
That thing, man.
That crap's all in his stomach. It's probably all freaking eating a hole.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Well, now you gotta make sure. Now he sleeps on the ground. You gotta teach him a lesson.
And if you guys get a lab, something I'm going to tell you about labs, they're the dumbest dogs ever, and they eat anything. That stupid dog is out there eating lava rocks out my backyard, dude. Stopping them up and crap for 3 days.
Make it tougher.
I mean,
maybe
I guess be a man, eat rocks.
Guys, he's secretly friggin' getting tough because soon he's gonna just get out. He's gonna say, "Screw Chris."
Gonna bounce.
I can survive on rocks.
Yeah, I got that pool implanted with a GPS chip. He cost me enough money. So
damn.
So can I tell my story now?
Yeah,
do it.
So we have these old people that live next door to us, and they're super freaking ridiculously. They're just a-holes.
How old are they?
They're probably 70 something.
Oh, okay, crotchety old people.
Yeah, crotchety old. So like the original, like we'd never really talked to them. They're not very friendly, and in fact, they're the reason why our kids learn swear words because they never heard swear words really. Well, they probabably did around me, but my wife was
saying they never heard swear words in your house.
But anyway,
main form of communication
because they're always screaming in their backyard. But so when we bought our house,
wait, Adam, pause real quick. I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. Laska, when I was talking about Luke tearing up the doggy bed, dude,
that might not be a bad idea.
Alaska kind of wins the comment right there.
If you microwave it, it'll shrink and it'll
Oh
be easier
my
to poop
gosh.
out. That's
Good
science.
radiation.
Sorry, Adam. Keep going, man.
So anyways, when we bought our house, we're on almost an acre, not quite an acre. But the side of our house, there's like a side lot, and there was probably like a couple hundred trees, but it was really nasty. Like most of the trees were dead. The sump pump, it like shot out over there. So there's a big, like nasty puddle of water all the time with, freaking mosquitoes and crap in it. So the first thing we do when we bought our house was we paid it was fairly cheap for what they did. It was like 15 grand. All right. They cut down all the trees, removed all the stumps, and planted grass. We kept the big trees, like the serious ones that weren't like annoying, that were alive.
Shade trees.
But they came outside while we were doing it, and they're screaming at us, screaming at the freaking people working on it. Every time somebody's working on our house, they come over screaming. They're just evil people, right? So my wife has been like obsessively working on the yard the last couple days, and they came over and they started screaming at her like face to face. They're like, "Do you guys hate trees? Why do you cut things down? Your yard looks like shit."
Oh,
And then,
wow.
like going back and forth, and this lady doesn't have any teeth. She doesn't. Not
nice.
one.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
And it's
So
she's
she got like the bitter beer face going on as she's screaming.
Absolutely.
Yeah, paint the picture, right?
one of the previous fights that my wife had with her when she's like, "Your guys' yard looks awful." My wife's like, "You look awful." She's like, "Excuse me?" She's like, "You don't got any goddamn teeth."
That's amazing.
Jeez, what is
Like,
she
do
saying
you
with that
hate
face?
teeth?
This is great.
But anyways, so this time they were like face to face, and she's like yelling about our yard and how we hate trees and this and that. She's like, "You guys aren't nothing but dirty Democrats." And then she's like, she's like, "You need to move out of your house. And just so you know, Black lives don't matter."
Oh my god!
Oh my
man.
god.
So she said that. So my thought process is, I want to put a fence up. I'm gonna, before we put the panels up facing their house, I want to paint the gay pride flag.
Nice.
And I want to paint Black Lives Matters and make this thing obnoxious as shit and just
on her side only.
on their side only. Yeah.
Yes.
Do it.
You know they're just gonna paint it though.
Yeah,
They
but
can't.
they gotta
It's on his
work to do
property.
it, so
Yeah, I mean, they
yeah.
shouldn't, but
Put
they
it
will.
if you put it 6 feet back, that would mean they'd have to come on your property.
These
and
people are like, who does that?
Right,
Who-
Chris.
What
like,
you should
who-
do? No, you
who
put a chain
said
link fence
something
up,
like that?
and
That's
then like
so ignorant.
like 3 foot behind the chain link fence, put up the wood fence with all the paintings on it.
True.
And if they cross that chain link fence to get to the wood fence to paint it, oh man, that's
I
that's
could put like one of those what do they call them, razor wire thing.
Yeah,
Look
that's
at
even
Alaska.
better.
Alaska says have a drag queen cookout in the front yard.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
let's
not
have a
bad
party.
idea.
Let's have a pride party at your house, dude. We'll piss off your neighbors.
Big Clive says, I think their house needs that faulty gas controller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not a terrible idea either.
Oh man.
I mean, homicide's okay sometimes.
Right.
What's up,
Actually, all
TUI
right,
Banana Man's in the
back
house?
in the day when I was still drinking, one of the neighbors was having a party, and we were over there, and there's one of the other neighbors that enjoys scotch like me, so we were kind of hitting it hard that night. And me and him,
Do people really enjoy scotch, dude?
dude, I love scotch.
Dude,
I love.
come on, man, bro.
I think
it
people
tastes
like
someone,
to say they really enjoy scotch because it gives people
don't
a certain
disagree.
idea about them.
dude.
just
I don't think they do, dude. It tastes like ashtray water, man.
Talking about scotch right now, it makes me thinking about scotch. I'm like, you're making me want to drink again.
I used
Dude, it
to-
literally tastes like what I'd imagine a cigarette butt cup full of water been sitting in the backyard for
Oh
like a
my
week.
See, like
God,
and then you
the
take a
scotch I
drink.
used to drink was the cheapest stuff ever because
That's
it tastes
why.
like dirt and fire, and it
Now,
was delicious.
Tequila, on the other hand, legitimately,
No,
if you get a good tequila, man, dude, you
That
can
tastes
sip that.
Good
Tequila-
scotch, dude. I'm telling you. You know
That's
what?
like-
Put a drop
I
of
don't know.
water in it, and you'll just be astonished.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
when I
tough
was in
ice to keep in
Vegas
there.
for AHR, I don't remember what kind it was, and that's what's really frustrating me. I sat down at a bar and I told the dude, I was like, I want a tequila that I can sip, and he gave me something. It was probably stupid expensive, but it was amazing. But I don't know what it
probably
was.
Jose
Probably-
Cuervo. from
It was
Kmart.
not Jose
Chris
Cuervo.
says it was probably stupid. Except a
You
100.
know what? Like, in my opinion, all hood ornaments on cars taste the same. All tequila tastes the same too.
That was that moment too, because Scott and Gil came down and we were going to like a party, and they came down to the bar and they walked up, and then that's when Gil Oh, damn.
Took yours
Yeah.
37. Never mind.
Yes. No, you can say no. I'm fine with that. He's cool with
Stoned
it.
out of his mind. Yeah, he told the story. I think on his show or somehow.
Oh yeah, Gilded. It was
Facebook or
hilarious though. Yeah.
He took like 37 gummies and was high out of his mind. All right, let me get back to my story. So what happened at night when I was drinking scotch and it was late in the evening. There was only a few people there left, and we were telling the story about the neighbors and how big of dicks they are to us all the time. So he's like a real like proper guy, but he's around my age. He's like, dude, you know what I think we should do? I'm like, what's that? And he's like, I think we should go to my house. He's like, I got a big bag of dog shit. I think we should get that bag of dog shit. I think we should go dump it in their pool.
Oh, man.
Like, that's a fucking amazing idea.
That is.
So we went and grabbed the dog shit. My wife's like yelling at me, like, you can't do this. You can't do this. I'm like, we're doing it. So we ran, we got it. We're like special ops, like, you know, like running through the yard and crap.
Special ed.
We get back to our front door, and all of a sudden we have like the Nest doorbell or whatever, and I hear my wife's voice, Adam, you better not fucking do this.
Come on, did you do it? Tell me you did.
She ran over, and we were like halfway in their yard, in the backyard, and she stopped us.
Oh my God,
Man.
Nancy, what are you doing?
This is the funny thing, right? Because I'm pretty sure. So when I was a little kid, we used to go up into northern Michigan. I had some family that lived there, and they never had like fences. Like all the houses were community backyards. They were huge community backyards, and you could literally go from house to house, like no whatever. Is that what you have in your neighborhood?
Some people have fences, but the yards, keep in mind, are huge. So I don't have a fence because I got a quote, and like 5 years ago it was 15 grand for like not that great of a fence. So
yeah, we fence in everything here. Like you if you have a vacant lot, you fence it in. Like everybody fences everything in here.
Howard Sharp is saying plumber's dye would work great. Also, Clive, he puts that radioactive drink he drinks, whatever dye he puts in there, you can put in the pool.
I say you just replace all the water in the pool with gasoline.
That's a good idea too.
That sounds a little mean.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I've thought of all kinds of stuff, but they're just freaking dicks. I heard, tell me if this is true, Clive would probably know, but I heard that copper nails kill trees if you drive a copper nail into a tree.
Really?
Oh, really?
So I was thinking about going and hanging some freaking bird feeders up on a few of their trees.
No, see, I feel like
we like trees.
I feel like if that was a thing, we would know about it, or more people would do it instead of paying so much money to have trees cut down. And
Yeah,
stuff.
they wouldn't be paying people to go freaking saw a tree down when they can go put a nail in and come back 6 weeks later.
Yeah. It's all shriveled up and all tiny for some reason.
Cut into perfect pieces.
So what did you guys do this week, man?
It was a busy week, dude. I don't think I had very much time. It was 8, 10, 12-hour days every day.
I took a day off and I still had 60 hours this week, man.
Yeah, we want to know, what did you do today, dude? What were you working on?
I drove a lot. Oh, actually, no. I went and I finished up a intelligent repair that I've had, which actually might make a good conversation between me and Chris, and you and Adam can, I guess, sit there and look cool.
Sure.
I needed to tag you in a post because there was a really good intelligent post on Facebook today. I should have tagged you though.
Should have. You should go back and do that right now.
It was talking about the exact issue that you're having too. They
Well,
were all going back and forth.
So I went back there today, and the quick recap: this 6-month-old intelligent unit has well, it wasn't working. I went out there; it was in the pump down condition. After going through all the troubleshooting, big pictures, whatnot, I deemed a bad electronic valve, and I did question.
Let me preface: it was a true big picture because we even talked about this.
Yeah,
before
Chris, and I had an earpiece in, the little Bluetooth earpiece,
and he had the camera. I'm like, dude, I need to be able to see what you're doing. And
I didn't have that earpiece until like that day. I called Chris and I was hanging on my phone, and I like, boop. I'm like, what is it? Oh, what's this? And I felt my ear, and there's like, oh, Bluetooth is there, just like Chris's. And that's what happens because Chris has magic. So this intelligent unit was pumped down, condenser wouldn't kick on. Went out there. I don't know if you guys are all familiar with intelligent units, but it's got an electronic valve instead of a liquid line solenoid. Pretty much everything else operates just the same. It's just smart. It's got relays and boards and whatnot. And the electronic valve, I deemed it was bad. It wasn't opening. It was just stuck shut. And so I told him, call a reefer truck. I'll be back in the morning with a new valve. So I went back. and this was last Saturday. I went back on the weekend, drove an hour out of the way, found one place that had a valve, grabbed it, took it over there, get up on the roof. I pulled the charge, and again, another little side note. I know I could have just pumped it down, but whoever installed this didn't write down what kind of refrigerant was inside of it, and I didn't believe that they programmed it properly either. So I pulled the charge, brazed in a new dryer. Rainstorm hit. I got rained out. Couldn't finish the job. Came back Monday, brazed in the electronic valve, got it all up and running. And before I brazed in that valve, I tested the old one. I tested voltage from the board to the old electronic valve, because I didn't do that initially because I missed that part of the step. It wasn't that big of a picture, I guess. So I went back and I did that, and then I brazed in the valve, got it up and running. Everything was honky-dory. I watched it pump down, yada, yada, yada. And I think it was 2 days later, I went there for the walk-in cooler, because the walk-in cooler was acting up. And while I was there, I noticed the suction line in the freezer was just, it had a large amount of ice on it. It was frozen pretty bad. And then, so I stuck around, gave him another big picture, and found out that the board wasn't sending proper voltage to the electronic valve now. And we put it in test mode, me and tech support. He held my hand the whole way. Put it in test mode, and I was just holding my meter leads on there, watching it go around until it hit the electronic valve relay. It was like 23, 26 volts. One time it was 4, and it's supposed to be upwards of like 37, if I remember correctly. So I went back there today, put that board on, verified.
Does that fluctuate based on like position, valve position?
I'm assuming
that's a good question. No, there's got to be something that tells the valve to open and close.
What tech support told me is that it energizes, like it'll full voltage, energize it for a certain amount of time, and that's how it knows how many steps. Like it has
to know which direction to go, though. So it has some sort of communication.
And what happens, I guess, and this is just me trying to remember what tech support said. So whenever it's powered down, when you power it back up, it goes all the way in a closed position, and then it'll go all the way open, and that's how it figures out what's open and closed. And it also does that after every defrost.
Yeah.
So it can like calibrate itself. So maybe that's what helps it know its current position. But
look at chat. There's a stepper motor, like Chris was saying, and or one of you guys saying, and they're saying 4 wires sending voltage.
So this is a funny comment right here.
But 2 are
Dave Johnson
open and 2 are closed.
Dave Johnson said, was Don Fort in your ear? Don Fort is he's a person that I know very well at Heatcraft, and he's in charge of technical support. Like,
not to be racist, but is he a black guy?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, but he's from California.
There was this black guy that was helping me, African American guy, right? The coolest guy ever.
Is that racist?
I don't know, because some people get
as a white
some people get that.
Yeah, it's like, it was a black guy. I don't know if it was white guy, it was a Mexican guy. I don't care. But no, like this dude was super cool. But the best thing was he was calling me Mr. Bill, and there's only like 2 other people that ever called me Mr. Bill, and it was this guy, this tech support guy, and like my old lead tech from way back in the day. His name was Clarence. Super cool dude. But that dude taught me a fair amount of stuff in a little bit.
I think it's not so much because I know there's certain people that I think it's more or less the voice and the way that they say things, and it's not so much the phrase that they use, but it's just they have a way that this person talks to you, and it's their voice. I think that drives you to it. It's just a very welcoming,
kind of like Bill's voice.
Yeah.
Fair. You think I sound like a black guy?
No, I'm talking about just the whole genuine.
You sound like a narrator.
Yeah. And it's not. I don't think it's like a black thing. I think it's like everybody. Like, it's just in general, certain people have that welcoming personality when you talk to them.
I don't. I'm usually like, fuck off. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm that way too. I have asshole written on my forehead. Like I'm not a welcome.
Absolutely. Shut up, Chris. This guy walks around the entire time we were with him. He had a smile on his face the entire
like,
oh, hey, at that event, yes, but not. That was because
like
I was in my
bro
zone.
Hugging machine. Like, you know those handshakes that turn into like bro hugs. Like, that was Chris all day, man. Bro hugging it out with everybody.
Every time I would turn around,
in my zone, man.
Chris is like smiling ear to ear. Oh, you watched my videos? Awesome.
I'm so interested in what you have to say to me right now in this exact moment. Let's hug it out first.
Oh my God. You just said right now, Bill, I pictured Bert saying that. With the way that you just said it right now, that would have been something Bert would have said. No, Bert.
So whatever happened with we tried to get Bert on here and he ghosted me. I thought you were going to work on that, Chris.
Oh, dude, you got to remind me. I have a bad memory these
I'm
days.
reminding you right now.
And now that J-Dub's
Yeah, remind me
no-go.
to talk about the super secret idea about our channel.
Speaking of J-Dub, Gene Slade was
Good
on
point,
the
Clive.
what is that show? What's that
Blow
show?
out some subwoofers.
That is the show. HVAC Secrets Uncensored or something. What is it called?
Oh, the
happened?
Canadian dude that did our website.
There's a long black train.
Oh,
What's their
rolling
podcast
down the
called?
line.
I can't remember.
HVAC Secrets on.
That's what that song is. Josh
Secrets
Turner. That's what I was
Revealed or
thinking of.
something.
But anyway, he had Gene Slade on, and J-Dub and Victor Rancor were giving him jabs in the comments.
oh no way.
Oh, hey, I've stayed out of a lot of that stuff, and I actually like blocked a
I
couple
like
of
to
those
watch
people.
that stuff.
But I clicked in and saw some stuff the other day, and it's getting deep. Like there's a lot of accusations about drugs and different things. Like
That's
from
awesome.
certain people.
I think we should try to. I'd be willing to even pay some of these guys. I think we should have them on the air and just like multiple. Like, let's have all three of them on at the same time. Let's fight it out,
I
guys.
feel like if you pay them, they won again.
If
know
you,
what I mean?
like, I don't
I would
ever
agree.
acknowledge the content that they put out there,
Thanks,
but every once in a while it's a
T-Wap and Anime, I
guilty
appreciate
pleasure,
that.
guilty pleasure to like read some of it, and it's like these dudes are twisted, man, and they are bad. And it's the main salespeople, like
Drugs
it's
are
all of
bad.
them. They're
Ty has a great voice too. I was listening. He made a YouTube video where he was singing a song today, or it
Oh,
wasn't
nice.
today, but he had. Yeah, he was singing.
He's singing a song.
We all live in the red subcooling. The red subcooling.
Ty has the best ways to animate and or make you want to listen to what he wants to tell you.
Yeah,
Like-
if you guys aren't subscribed, look up Ty on YouTube. He's
Ty Brannaman.
He's doing a series right now from the very beginning. Guys are curious about the trade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, just so you guys know, I'm auditioning to try to take over the lead role for Optimus Prime for the next movie.
Okay.
Just so you know.
You're gonna give us. Oh, is this how you're gonna do it?
I'm just
Or
hoping
you're
that
gonna make your
whoever
voice better.
whoever is in charge of it is listening to the show and they're like, hey, that guy could be a good Optimus Prime.
Got
And
it.
that's
Got
the
it.
free way to
Let me
start.
let me see. Wait, I got Michael Bay's
Hey,
number right here.
real
Just a
quick.
second.
My
Transform
son,
and roll
my
out.
son was watching us in the other room on YouTube, which I don't think he ever really
Why?
watches
Why
us.
is he watching
This is probably one of the better shows because I've only said like two bad
Mm.
words.
I know he came in right now and he asked me, he's like, he told me to put it on mute for a second. He's like, you actually got the poop and went over there?
That's awesome.
You just gave him an idea.
Yep. Bing.
Dude. Oh man,
Good influence there, Papa.
that's funny.
Jay Barron, what was his name? He did a great comment. Thanks, buddy. He says HVAC overtime is
Oh, that's funny, Clive. That makes me think about like what if you took, a quick side note, but if you took Optimus Prime and like Eeyore and mixed those two personalities together, which by the way, they're voiced by the same person, but you just remember like a depressed Optimus Prime, like transform and roll out, I guess.
Yeah.
Life's garbage can and
I
get
don't
hard
know.
to kick my ass.
Look
I
at
haven't
Brett. Brett's curious if you're in your garage or what.
Yeah. And we got
Thanks, Oxnard.
we you know what? I asked Mikey Pipes to come on here once before. He was in our chat and he's like, I'm like, what's your email? He's like, I'm not gonna give it out in here. I'm like, well, how am I ever gonna get in touch with you?
Like I'll have my people get all your
I got to
people.
be honest. I really don't watch very
Hey,
much
what's up, Brett?
technical
Brett
HVAC
Pretzel's in
content.
the house.
So I don't really watch Mikey Pipes. I don't got anything
I
against it.
kind of
I
wanted
just-
to stir the pot a little bit with him and the Steve Lab thing, especially now. It would be nice because Steve Lab was on our. Steve Lab blocked me. Steve Lab blocked Chris, and
Breaking news.
still don't get that.
Mikey
What did I
Pipes is a
do?
pedophile, if you guys
you
didn't
called
know.
him out on being an idiot. Like that guy
that's
thinks
true,
he's like God's gift to freaking HVAC and plumbing. And let's be honest,
Which
I was trying to be nice.
Which is why one of the reasons why he wouldn't let us just ask random questions.
Yeah,
in
we had
his
to-
I know. We have to write down our questions.
yeah, and like submit them to Ted, so we didn't ask hard
we
questions or
couldn't, we
something.
couldn't look him in the eye on the show. We couldn't directly contact him.
Dude, I couldn't talk to that guy. There's no way I could talk to that guy. I
Imagine
can't
having a
stand
show
his
like
voice.
that, where it's like, hey Ted, can you ask Steve if blah 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 blah?
Yeah,
Don't directly address Steve Lab.
Yeah.
Shut up.
it's like
That's
Who
funny.
knows? I
kinda like
got
we're-
nothing against the guy. He blocked me. Whatever. It is what it is.
I thought he was
just trying to
cool.
educate him.
I talked to him before, you know. I thought he was cool, but I don't know why he hates us.
I don't know.
Well, we just made a comment. He's taking it so hard.
I mean, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Chris was right. The guy said, what did he say? He's like,
he said 30.
R4
No, he tried to make it political.
He said R410 jug, a 20-pound jug of R22. The can weighs 4 pounds. Let that sink in, or something like.
No, basically, he said that a drum of R22 today in today's political times weighs or only has 25 pounds of refrigerant in it. Is what he was saying.
He was saying it's 30 pounds, but the jug weighs this. Let that sink in.
And
what are you talking about?
But didn't you come back?
People, well, no, like a bunch of people agreed and were like, yeah, and they were trying to get all political. And I'm like, I just got in there and I just said, I think you're a little incorrect, bud. I said,
he's like, I think you've been in the walk-in coolers too much.
Yeah, that was
Chris
awesome.
runs outside and gets a scale and a jug of R22.
Yeah, puts it right on the scale, and it was like 34.7 or whatever.
Yeah, no, it everything he thought, and it's just.
But that was when he blocked you, though. When you presented with straight facts. Here's a brand new jug on a scale, right in your face.
He feels threatened.
Maybe he feels. Yeah, that's funny. Maybe I was flexing because I had a brand new drum of 22. Like you kind of are these days.
I know, eh? Balling with the 22.
You kind of are.
I asked the other day how much a jug is, and it's $15.90 before tax.
Oh, I did a.
Brett, you're right.
That's
Guys
nuts.
do get butthurt extremely easily nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's a ridiculous climate we live in. Like
something. Try not to get so.
I've even met like guys where, like these guys will complain about people getting butthurt too easily, but then if you directly give them some feedback, or if you're a negative feedback, mostly they get all butthurt.
Think about this, like I'm not even like a real refrigeration guy. I do like commercial stuff, but it's kind of commonly known that most of the best refrigeration technicians, like, they're grumpy assholes. They kind of are. Like, I mean, that's kind of the thing, and a lot of them are. And it's funny because I'm a nice guy and he's attacking me, making refrigeration jokes, and it's like, dude, the fuck, you don't even know. Like, people that are smarter than me try to answer one of your questions, and it's like, chill out.
No, he's a grumpy dude.
Chris is making R22 money. I agree, Brett. That's funny.
I'm still saving up to buy a jug of that.
Talking about butthurt in the overtime group, I don't know if you guys seen a curious homeowner. He was a homeowner, okay? He was just asking what was, I think, black stuff on his wall or something, on his son's wall or something. He wasn't gonna
that one.
I'm not sure. He wasn't gonna.
I was going to. I didn't though. But
what were we gonna say? Something sarcastic, or you were gonna be chill about it?
No, if this is what I think it was. No, I think he asked me on my show too, because I think I answered it.
No big deal. Like, guys were getting like. I understand is that we don't let homeowners post, and he's not going to go fix it. If guys are curious, homeowners
we have
are
a
curious.
very strict screening process for everybody that gets in the group.
But you know what?
Basically, Joe has to say yes or no. Honestly, you're really not letting the group unless Joe hits yes.
You just
basically, everyone gets added unless you have like a name with squiggly lines that you can't.
Yeah, we don't let squiggly lines in there.
Even some of those I give chances. But anyways, he was just a curious homeowner. Listen, if you and I were on the street, anybody, he's gonna ask us. Well, there's no difference. It's not like he's gonna go fix it. And guys were getting homeowner alert, homeowner. Like, guys, chill the fuck out, man. You know what I mean? So I let it go for a bit, and then I was like, okay, I'll just stop the comment.
You know what? That the other group that there's another group that I started. Somebody asked me, what was it? Like, how did it even start? Somebody's like, there's no geothermal groups on Facebook. I'm like, I'll start one. So I started a geothermal group, and there's actually quite a few people in there now.
Yeah.
I don't really in there
real
very
quick. I want to address something in the comments here. Mr. Brett Pretzel from the Advanced Refrigeration Podcast, which is a great podcast, by the way, said,
this
besides
like
Kevin's
breaking news, you should have said breaking news, guys.
Breaking news. Besides Kevin's audio, no one ever gives us anything negative. I wish they would sometimes. Are you asking for like a negative feedback or constructive criticism, Brett?
Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
I think it's pretty good. Other than most of what they're talking about, I've never seen and I don't really know, but it's a good podcast.
But they both, even when it's something super technical, you could it's something that I can turn on in the background and I can listen, but it's just good to listen to. Just to let it play.
Like I'm on
Brett answer a question on Facebook today.
Yeah.
And somebody asked, like, can you describe to me what superheat and subcooling is? And Brett was like, superheat is above saturation and subcooling is below saturation. And that was when that Ty had that song that he put
Oh yeah.
or whatever. I just thought of like I posted a meme or whatever, or a GIF or GIF or whatever the fuck they're called. I don't know. But
Actually, yeah, go ahead.
I said, what an elegant way of putting that, Brett.
Yep.
Actually, there was I told him I was going to answer it. I think you've said it many times in your situations, Chris, about he was asking the best times to, I guess, adjust your TXV. And you said it one, if you had to, what are the best times? You know, obviously not right after a defrost.
Change it.
Big
Yeah,
load,
basically, you know, if you're doing equipment startups, you want the system to be stabilized and you want it to be close to
temperature,
the actual desired temperature.
Yeah.
I say if I'm doing a walk-in cooler install, before I start really playing with the TXV, and there's a caveat here, I just let it go until it gets to about 5 degrees within set point, and then I feel comfortable making superheat adjustments. We're letting the valve break in, we're letting the system stabilize, and we don't have such a high load because it typically won't be operating at that high load, you know. So you adjust it when it's where its normal position is, and set it, and then work your way through that. But there's a caveat, because if you turn a system on and you're flooding back insanely, like something's wrong, you got to figure it out.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
But for the most part, as long as you have superheat for when you're monitoring the compressor, as long as you have superheat and you actually measure superheat with an accurate device at the compressor, as long as you're monitoring it, you know, as long as it's, you know, not 0 or 1.5, you're going to be okay. You know, and you just control things and adjust. But once it starts really flooding back and you don't have superheat coming back or anything, then you need to figure something out. You need to adjust your valve. You need to do something.
This is my exciting voice, Alaska.
Yes.
He's not lying.
I am excited.
Well, what's
He's very excited.
I'm also not wearing pants.
Oh,
I started off the show without pants.
Yeah.
I thought about not wearing pants because it was hot in my house when I came home, but no, I put jeans on.
Dude, I haven't even taken a shower yet. I came home, threw on my favorite t-shirt, which, by the way, HVACOvertime.com. You can go there and get all of our cool merch.
I actually,
boom. Which it's time for a new shirt design. You know that?
Yeah.
There was one we were tossing around out there.
Big picture, small package.
Oh, you should have something with my dog in it, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome, Chris. I love that t-shirt.
Big package, small picture.
Yeah.
Big small picture.
Oh, that I give you the pictures if you want them. So, you know.
Speaking of which, Chris sent us a picture of his belly button this week, guys.
I did.
Oh, did?
What?
Yeah.
I missed it.
I missed that too. Is it an
why did I? What was the point? Someone said something real quick. I think Bill jokingly said something about a belly button or something.
Yeah,
I bet Chris can fit a whole piece of licorice all the way into his belly button.
Yamo was saying, I don't remember what Yamo said. He said something. I'm like, Yamo, can you check inside your belly button and see if anything's in there?
That's right.
And then Chris,
well,
let's see mine. So he sends us an extreme close up.
I don't wash it, Jonathan.
Belly button.
You know, now that I think about it, like, do you guys? I mean, this is not even close to being HVAC related, but I guess HVAC paid for it, so whatever. Okay. You guys actually wash your belly buttons?
You like?
Sometimes I remember.
No, it makes me really uncomfortable to touch my belly button, bro.
Come to think of it, like, I don't think I ever do.
Swirl your finger around and sniff it.
I do that with my toenails, dude. You ever cut your toenails?
Do you guys wash the bottom of your feet?
Chris.
Like, who washes the bottom of their feet?
No, my wife thinks I'm a fucking psycho because every time I cut my toenails, I like before I throw them away.
Sniff your toenails?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Only on overtime, guys.
Oh my god.
My wife thinks I'm crazy, but I think she's.
And then he's got a mason jar, and if you look all the way up in the top shelf over there, where he saves all his toenail clippings.
Yeah.
He wakes up, just sniffs that, gets a big old hit. Oh, that's what.
Let's go refrigerate, guys.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Bill, how are you gonna remember to get all these moments for the?
I will
200
my own toenails and mail them to you. They grow fast, and one of them one of them's kind of deformed because it was like a hangnail that I had cut off, but the doctor didn't do it right.
Oh, okay.
So it's all like weird looking on the one side. So I got to like really get after it when I'm cutting it.
Maybe
Sometimes
Chris
it
could draw
squirts
you
a
on a
little.
piece of cardboard and stick the toenails on your feet, like you know, a little
Yeah, that's a
project.
good idea. I can glue them together like macaroni art. I can make a sailboat.
Macaroni art.
Yeah, like toenail art.
Okay, I think.
I think I'm gonna start washing my belly button though after this conversation.
Yeah, maybe
probably
that's a good
will.
idea, eh? It's a good idea.
I probably will too. It's just subconsciously. Like I never even wash my back because I can't reach it.
Yeah.
It's just there.
I got one of those brushes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a brush. It hangs up. My wife was cleaning the shower. She's like, "Do you ever use this?" I was like, "Yeah, I scrub
All
my
right.
back with
You
it."
guys use a washcloth or a loofah, or do you go straight at it with the
Loofah.
hands?
Bar soap.
Loofah.
Loofah and bar soap is what I use.
Loofah and
Bill,
bar
Bill's
soap.
got some gnarly bar soap. Oh, it
Just good
was
bar soap, man.
Bill got yelled at from Rick at the
Oh yeah, for leaving too much hair.
no.
leaving too much hair in the soap bar.
But you know what? In my defense, no, it wasn't the soap bar. It was just all over the tub. And it wasn't even that much, like really, because I was conscientious of it.
We need to make sure that we all meet up in Atlanta
I
next
know
year
how
too,
Rick
and Rick
was.
has to come down. Oh, shit.
because I know Rick is like one of these like oddly tidy guys, like overly
Yeah.
OCD about stuff,
Mm.
like to the point where it's borderline
Rick
weird.
Rick is tightly wound. He definitely is tightly wound.
Yeah.
If I seen a long hair, I wouldn't mind as much. But it's when you see the small ones that are
Short and
curly,
curlies?
yeah, those are
Yeah.
kind of.
Well, I'm covered in short and curlies except my face.
True.
Whole
True.
thing, man. I'll
Hard
show
to
you
decipher.
sometime.
Hard to decipher. That's the
Said,
dilemma.
I'll show you sometime.
Yeah, you'll love it.
Face. Ugh.
Oh man.
Oh,
What did
wait,
last week's
Clive
draft? I
says
don't know.
the belly button apparently has 67 different bacteria in it.
Oh, yummy.
You know what? Maybe this is why the Advanced Refrigeration podcast now has 9 minutes of commercials and we have 0.
That is a very good point. That is a very, very good point.
Maybe,
Oh, man.
maybe it's got something to do with
Hey.
that. Huh?
We have a sponsor. We just never got a bank account to.
Yeah, and we never really did much. We didn't pursue that.
Then I heard there was a
we don't
bunch-
pursue much, eh?
But what happened? there?
Yeah,
I did that. I did it with the
time.
no, I did that with the sponsor. Someone wanted to reach out to me. I'm not going to say their names, but they wanted to reach out to me. They wanted to work with me.
Fat.
Had me sign like an NDA and all this stuff. And then they're the ones that approached me. And then I gave them some ideas or something. I can't remember what. And then I stopped giving them ideas. I'm just like, I'm not going to beg, you know? And I didn't hear from them. Like they were so eager. And then all of a sudden and I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm not begging. I'm not coming knocking on your door.
I talked to John Pastorello about doing like a joint venture HVAC Overtime refrigeration technology shirt to do like a kind of a spoof or something.
Totally forgot about that idea.
Like a funny refrigeration technology shirt. And he's like, I'm all about it. Just tell me the details. I'm in. And we just never did anything with
We
it.
need someone to take notes for us so we remember to. That's
We
a
need
great idea.
An assistant to
Yeah.
help
Dude,
out.
we need. Hey, what
Like we need a
what is it
puppy.
going to cost us to
Brett
have one of
Pretzel.
our viewers like caption our entire show and then point out the highlights and then give a report to us?
$1 million.
about it, guys. Email us your ideas.
Yes.
Clive said, "Do you guys bite your fingernails to keep them short?"
Yes.
No,
No.
I don't. No.
That is a crazy thing.
It's not that I think it's gross or anything like that. It's whenever I do bite my nails, they're never straight, and then you
I
end up
feel like I'm
pulling
gonna
the nail
break a
off.
tooth if I do
Yeah,
that.
no, I don't. I like pull them or whatever, but
Sometimes when I'm eating,
do
I'll
it.
accidentally like bite the fork too hard or something. I feel like I'm gonna break a tooth. That's what biting fingernails feels like to me.
I jammed my 2 front teeth with a coffee cup hard because I was like driving. And I hit a bump this week. And I was like put my tongue like licking my teeth because I'm like, did I knock him out? Did I knock him out? It was so freaking hard. It hurt.
Damn.
Oh,
hey, Scott's in here. What's up, Scott? Haven't
Yeah.
talked to Scott in a while.
Imagine if I showed up on the show missing a tooth.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
I mean,
Yeah.
It hurts
I
pooping
mean,
out fingernail bits.
how many people watching the show have a full set of teeth?
True. Good point. Good point.
You know,
Yeah, I
Ding.
mean,
exactly. Well, I think it's time we wrap it, guys.
yeah.
wrap
been a
it
good
and
show,
smack it.
I say let's do it.
Well, I gotta cue up the outro music here, guys. Give me a second here, and
Thanks for watching, guys. Have a safe weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
whoops. Oops, that was
the
Yamo?
wrong one. I'm like looking around. I'm literally like, I don't
Ah,
see Yamo. Where's the
false
at?
pretenses. Unbelievable.
Oh man.
Whoa.
Oh yeah,
that too loud, Joe?
Yeah, just a little bit.
just a little bit.
I didn't
Seriously,
prepare.
guys, I really want to do the whole having someone dub the channels completely and start HVAC overtime.
What was the last
channels.
idea we were just talking about that we told somebody to write down?
Refrigeration.
Oh, yeah, that T-shirt.
Oh, the John Pastorello t-shirt too.
Yeah, we definitely need to do something like that. We should have like a group picture of us, like a full body picture, shrink us down, like put us next to the logo, like looking up at it or pointing at it or something.
And
Dude,
then
we
what?
need to have like, guys, I know we talked about
No.
this kind of in the chat, but we need to have like a giant meetup with overtime. But you guys need to come out to California. We need to do something with like refrigeration technologies and have like a convention thing or whatever.
Good idea.
We could rent out, like, I got a place right near me. Like, oh, it'd be
What are we
awesome,
gonna
dude.
do?
I don't know. We can have educational sessions and stuff, and then hang out.
We're
Like,
gonna
big-
do the
Never
HVAC
own.
overtime symposium.
Brian did say that he want, like, I heard him say
Overtime
several times that
symposium.
he envisions other people doing symposiums in other parts of the
Hey, we'll
country.
see you,
too.
Mike B.
So Brian wants that to happen. It's like
John, that's a
we
good
should-
idea, Chris.
Don't
we should
forget
figure this
Clive
out, man.
tomorrow,
John Pastorello's Jesus
4
as
o'clock.
yes, Clive tomorrow, 4 o'clock. I missed that guy.
Yeah.
Which let me take a moment and apologize because I have missed the last like 7 episodes, live episodes of Clive Show. But since it's warmed up, every weekend my family wants to go do stuff and they drag me out of the house, so I never get to see Clive live anymore.
Yeah, we love hearing your stories, Bill, when you're going out with the fam.
Yeah,
I'm hoping I have someone else on call this weekend, so I'm hoping to chill out and like not
chillax a little bit.
crap. Yes.
That's good. That's a good idea for a shirt. If you want to read his comment.
Or is it? It's flying by.
Where to go? I don't know.
That is a really John Pastorello
Hmm.
as Jesus at the Last Supper and everyone else as the disciples. for
That's
the church.
awesome. How do we
Let's
get
do it.
draw that?
We need
That's
somebody who's good at Photoshop.
Does anyone?
Uh,
know
I
somebody
think
good at
no, this is a dilemma that I have because I have an amazing shirt idea too, but I need an artist to actually draw it out
I
first,
know.
and then you have it
Viver,
digitized.
Viver, whatever that's called, Viver.
Yeah,
Fiverr?
but that John Pastorello one is a really good idea.
Let's do it.
Maybe we should not talk about this, and I'll
Yeah, we
talk to his
shouldn't.
son and see if he
We're
wants
backwards.
if
yeah.
John would be good, and then we could surprise John with something like that.
What are we gonna surprise him with? He listens to the show. He knows now.
It's true. He's probably listening.
Hmm. But he's also old, so he'll forget by tomorrow. Right?
Yeah.
He ain't gonna remember
Oh,
this
man.
tomorrow.
No,
Like as soon as
I
the
won't
rerun
even
of
remember
Matlock
what's
comes on,
happening
he's gonna be like, "Oh my goodness!"
Matlock.
He'll forget all about it. So yeah, we can still go ahead with it.
I think he's more of a Goodfellas guy. Oh, speak of Goodfellas.
Oh, Ray Liotta.
yeah.
Damn, my wife
Is
told me.
that what
yesterday.
I thought somebody said that?
Yeah.
This
Oh,
show
That
is
actually happened, huh?
Yeah, it's still going.
Damn.
I like to do this because you get the true viewers, right? Because everybody else dropped out, and then you've got the real people still hanging,
Hey,
listening.
you know what? I heard Norm Macdonald. He did a special like weeks before he died,
Mhm.
and he made a deal with Netflix that they could release it after he died.
Oh,
Really?
So I guess it's coming out. I just heard about that today.
No, so Ray Liotta freaking died in his sleep, like in the Dominican Republic, man.
mm.
That's crazy. I do like if you can't picture who Ray Liotta is, like when you see his face, you're gonna be like, oh, like
yeah.
Yeah.
I just think of Goodfellas. One of my
But
favorite
seriously,
movies,
Goodfellas,
guys.
yeah.
How
He
about
wasn't
that,
really
Chris?
old,
You
though.
like that
I mean,
one?
he was like what, 50 something?
I was only like 56, man.
Oh, that's it. Wow.
Dude, that's like my dad's age. Like,
Do they
you
know what he died of?
the official report came out and it said no suspicious whatever natural causes. I mean, it's the blanket answer. You never know if
Yeah,
it was drugs or
yeah.
anything like that involved.
Same thing
but
with that. What's that dude's name from Full House that died?
Annie
Bob
Tanner.
Danny
Bob
Tanner.
Saget.
Yeah, Bob Saget.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
No, he just died of natural causes in his hotel room. Like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Freaking pound of cocaine next to his face.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Sucks,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I
Yep.
know.
Well, on that depressing note,
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
maybe
So-
that
so-
can happen with me. Maybe like I can be an HVAC celebrity, and when I die, it'll be something like totally
Yeah.
embarrassingly
Could
epic.
be. That's what we looked at. Yeah. Something
No,
good.
you-
Look forward to.
HVAC
Chris.
Overtime can be reporting on the suspicious circumstances of my death. Like,
We will.
No,
Yeah.
see, you'll die at work. You'll fall like into the filter section of a rooftop unit, and nobody will find you until they come back around to change filters in like 3 months.
And they're
Okay,
only
same.
they're only going to identify your body because you're going to be wearing an HVACR videos.
yeah, the hat right here.
I'm gonna say mine. I think it's gonna be suffocation of Luke's balls.
Oh,
No.
okay. I
Then
think
they-
it's going to be freaking. I'm going to get all depressing, and I think it's going to be some sort of a cancer from all the inhalation of refrigerant that I've done and that I continue to do.
Oh my
Dude,
on a
No,
regular.
it's California. If that hasn't killed you yet,
Oh, that's true. I do
The
live in
tag is wore off. Do you ever smell the refrigerant to figure out what you're?
Yeah, you're more or less smelling the oil and the chemical mixture, but yeah, I can tell you certain refrigerants. Like I can
Smell
distinctly,
R22 all day long.
I can
R22
distinctly
yeah.
tell you what 134A smells like, and I know
Nope,
it's
not
you can
me.
almost taste it. It's like it's a weird.
Yeah.
And
I
then the
have
same
to
thing,
read
like did you check to see if it was a burn? Well, no, I didn't do an acid test. I just
So
no,
this-
yeah, the gas is burnt. You
It's
know,
kind of like when you check your belly button. You know.
yep.
I like how Clive refers to death after we've popped our clogs.
Well,
Oh, that's a good idea. Look at that. Clive says that my brother and I have contemplated making post-death videos for release
Yeah.
after we've popped our clogs. That's pretty funny. Make a
Mhm.
video now.
yeah.
His brother's another YouTuber, guys. His name's Ralph. He's cool too to watch.
But then you got to get somebody you know who can hit the release button for you,
That is not going to die before you.
unless you just like
Mm.
schedule it to be released in 100 years. You know,
Just got to throw some cash at it, bro.
It's true.
Problem solved. Throw
Yeah.
some money
Hey,
rules.
Chris, make a video and send it to me. Throw me some money and I'll post it for you. No problem.
Chris, Adam, that neighbor's gonna kill you before Chris dies, dude.
No, that
True that.
I don't even know who they're messing with over here. You know,
Okay. all right.
this is Tony Montana.
They don't want to
Yeah.
mess with no fake angry Jew.
I'm from Cuba.
Oh my god.
What a dick.
I mean,